look ridiculous because we are going to do some new drawing today. Under the water. Okay. So, look at the ring on my face. So we're going to do some drawing today under the sea. All right, just wait 1 minute and I'll get us set up. See you in a minute. All right, welcome back, dudes and dudettes. We are going to do some underwater art today. So I have gone ahead and kind of drawn an idea. I was feeling kind of oceany today, and I thought we would do a fun ocean scene under the water. Now, if you're not into ocean and you're more into land creatures, I highly recommend going to CassieStevens.com or Cassie Stevens on YouTube, and she is the coolest art teacher around, and she's way cooler than me, and she is doing Dinosaur Week this week, and she is teaching you how to draw yourself as a paleontologist, and she's teaching you all kinds of really cool dinosaur art. So if you're not into underwater oceany things, maybe you should check out her, and her name is Cassie with a C Stevens, and you can do CassieStevens.com or even have your parents search Cassie Stevens on Facebook. So let's get down to ours. So I have a shark and a jellyfish and an angelfish in here, and so I'm going to teach you how to draw all three of these today. All right, so first, before you get started, you're going to need paper. Now, this is a huge artist decision. What kind of paper are you going to use? Now, if you just have regular old copy paper, like from your mom and dad's printer hanging around, totally use that. Today, I thought I'd change it up, and I'm actually using watercolor paper, and so this is my watercolor paper because I think I'm going to use my watercolors. But once again, like I said, regular old copy paper, and you want to use crayons and markers, go for it, dude. So we're going to start, let me move this over here. We're going to start with our white paper, and we're going to start with our shark buddy. Now, I put my shark buddy over here on the left side of my paper, but you can put that guy anywhere. And you also need to make a decision, how big is he gonna be, right? So, let's start on our paper. I'm gonna turn my paper landscape, but once again, you can turn it portrait if you'd like, but I'm gonna turn my landscape, and I'm gonna grab a pencil, right? I also want to make sure I have an eraser, super important, and decide where you're going to put your little sharky bud, right? So I'm going to put him over here. I don't know, I always tend to go to the left sometimes when I draw. And let's start with his back. And his back just goes like, oh, look at that, my pencil broke. Just goes like that, right? So now we've got our shark back. Now we're going to draw his big old, let me get my paper. Big old belly, right? Maybe he's been eating lots of fish. So we're gonna draw his big old belly, and we're gonna start at his little snout and just go doop doop. My pencil is not cooperating. Doop 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 doop. And give him a skinny little booty right there. Everybody got that? All right. So then we need to start with the most important parts. Now add that dun 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 dun. His fin dun 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 dun. Right? And then give him a little bottom fin. It's a little smaller. What shape would that look like? That's kind of like a triangle, don't you think? Got two triangles. Now let's do his bottom fins, his back fins, I mean. And that's kind of like the letter V. You go out. I'm going to change pencils. Out and back over here. See how I drew two diagonal lines? And then come in and add a really weird letter V. He's kind of starting to look like a shark. Now, you could have a nice shark, or a mean shark, an angry shark, or a happy shark, right? So let's draw his little eyeball, and it's just a circle with another circle in it. You can leave it just like that. And then his mouth is just like this. And I like to draw his mouth really big because sharks have really big mouths. Now, you could leave it like that. You could give him sharp, zigzaggy teeth, or maybe he's just smiling. Shing. Right? He could have that kind of mouth, or he could have this kind of mouth. In fact, I kind of like this kind of mouth better. That one, he's too happy for me, so I'm going to erase it, and I'm going to go up, down, zigzag. So there's my shark mouth. Oh, he looks good. All right, so everybody work on your shark. If you need to pause the video, you can pause it. This line right here, you can even erase it or keep it. Just depends. I'm gonna go ahead and erase it because I want my fins to kind of look like that. There we go. All right, so pause my video and then go ahead and work on your shark, and we're gonna move on to our angelfish. So when you're ready, unpause it and we'll move on to our angel. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my angel right maybe over here. Now this fish could be smaller than your shark a little bit. I kind of made mine around the same size. So I'm gonna see if I can make it a little smaller, but I doubt I can because I like to draw really, really big. Now they're a little funkier. So you're gonna draw the back of it is super tall like that. Draw a big line like that. Right? And then we're gonna go down
And a little bit smaller one.
It looks like a greater than or less than sign. That looks really wrong, right? Then we're gonna go and kind of come in and then have this one come in here and
Leave it open.
leave this place open right there. Does everybody see that? Right there, leave that open. All right, now we gotta draw the tail and it comes out like this. Woo! Woo! Just like that. And then they have fancy little backs of their tails. So you do little bumps and lumps, like so. Oh, it's starting to look like a fish, guys. So what is he missing? Eyeballs. So let's put a big old eyeball and then another circle. And this guy has another circle. How many circles is that? He's got 3 circles. And he's a little happy fish. So we're gonna draw, hi, my name's Fred, happy fish. Right? And then he's got all these fun designs. Now you could do whatever you wanted to on him, right? Any kind of stripes or polka dotties or whatnot. I'm gonna put a line here so I can see the change in his tail. And then I'm gonna draw these lines right. I'm not gonna go through his eye. Oh, I'm not gonna go through his mouth. I'm gonna jump right over it. And I'm gonna draw some wavy lines. Woo! And then maybe just 2 in his tail. So now I got a fish. All right, we're almost done. Now the jellyfish. Oh, let me tell you, these jellies, they are my favorite parts because you can make as many of those as you want. You can make them little and big, and they're super, super crazy easy. Let's do one right here, right? The jellyfish is so easy, guys, that all it is, it's like a couple shapes that you already know. So watch this, check it out. I'm gonna draw a big old half of a circle. Oh Lordy, this has turned out to be a big one. And then I'm gonna close them up. You know what it looks like to me? A gumdrop, right? So we've got our gumdrop, and our gumdrop needs eyeballs.
1, 2.
And you know what, I'm gonna draw his eyeballs different. I'm gonna put some circles in it. And then I'm gonna do the reflection, little tiny sheen mark in his eyes like that. And then you could take your pencil and shade that in. You don't shade in the circles, you just shade the space in between the circles. That's a different way to do eyes, right? And then he needs a cute little mouth.
He's a happy jelly.
Right, like that. Then I like to add some pokey dots on him. Big ones and little ones. This is kind of his design. There we go. Right? Now we need to add his little tentacles, right? And all you're gonna do is start in the center and draw 2, one there, one leg, another leg. Now here's the fun part. They get fat on the end like this. Whoops, and that one's a little off. That's why you need an eraser. Just like that. It looks like he has 2 feet, right? And then we do another one. And this one's a little shorter than the first one that we did. And then the last one gets smaller, right? There. There's my jellyfish. right? So you could draw a smaller one up here. It might look like it's far away. You can see on my picture, I drew a little baby one right here. All right, so there is my angelfish, my jellyfish, and my shark. So now it's time to create the ocean, right? So once you've created, you've drawn, you might have nothing but sharks. Maybe you only want to draw sharks. You might have a whole ocean full of sharks, or a whole ocean full of angelfish, or a whole ocean full of jellies. You know, I have my jellies in my classroom. So now you can kind of create the ocean. I like to add the sand at the bottom, but see, I don't want to draw through my jellyfish because he makes it more interesting, right? I'd say my jelly's not see-through, but some jellies are see-through, aren't they? And then maybe some seaweed. And my seaweed is so big it goes behind my shark. Maybe there's a skinny one. Woo! That comes there. There's some seaweed, right? And we might do some seaweed back here. You don't want to draw your seaweed in front of your fish because you worked so hard at that. So you don't want to cover them up unless you had them on purpose hiding, right? So there's some seaweed. You might even be silly and maybe my fish is blowing some bubbles. Right? Oh, and you know what I'm gonna do? I just thought of a really good idea. Instead of doing baby jellies, watch this. I'm gonna draw a fishing line. I know a lot of my boys and girls really like to go fishing. There's a fishing hook. Everybody see my fishing hook right there? Oh yeah.
And then I'm gonna put a little friend worm hanging out on there. He's just chilling.
Hi guys. I'm just chilling on the fishing line, hoping to say hello to someone. So maybe one of those fish will chomp him, right? So now you can create your ocean scene any way you want. See how this one is totally different. I did some coral in there. I put the waves up here, but with this one I didn't add any coral. You could even add, oh, let's do this. Oh, let me think how I'm gonna draw. It's a crab. He's got big pinchers. And then he's got his little legs. Hey guys, my name is Caleb Crab. Hi. There's Caleb the crab. He's down at the bottom. So now you can kind of color it in. If you want to use markers or crayons, I'm gonna do watercolors just because that's what I felt like doing this morning when I woke up, right? So maybe my Sharky, he's blue, right? You could now, my other one, I went over with Sharpie. Oh, look, when I don't add a lot of water and I use mostly paint, my colors get really, really dark, right? So if you have watercolors at your house and you like to use watercolors, you might watercolor your ocean in, right? You can do some fun things with lots of water and blending with watercolors. You can even add, sometimes you can add salt into the paint. There's all kinds of things. I can make my shark kind of different colors just by adding a little bit of water or not a lot of water, right? So you guys create the ocean. And let me see them. Have your parents email me your ocean pictures. And maybe tomorrow we'll do something different with the ocean, or maybe we'll do a different animal, or I'll come up with something, I promise. But like I said, if ocean is not your thing and you want to do dinosaurs, I highly recommend going and finding Cassie Stevens, because she is doing some super cool fun. I'm gonna make a purple octopus. Right? She's doing some really cool stuff over there. You might really like her. Like I said, guys, she is the rainbow queen. She is super silly. If you think I'm insane, she is the cutest. So get to work, create what kind of ocean you want, and I'll see you under the water. Have a great week. Bye.